Hey gang, JC here, and this is the Daily Dose for Wednesday, October 5th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great television archives, top of the page, our eye candy along the bottom, and our rock and roll poll question. We'll get to baseball here in just a minute. Our rock and roll poll question from yesterday. What's your take on the Amanda Knox verdict? Number one answer. I look forward to seeing her interviewed by Barbara Walters, then seeing her naked in Playboy. 34% of you wise guys. Number two answer. I couldn't have cared less about this chick. That's sort of where I came in. And I'm also puzzled by the depiction of her as being some knockout, some hot, fabulous looking chick. She's a pleasant looking girl, but I'm afraid I don't get it. She does nothing for me. Number three answer, I'm happy because I don't think she did it, and only 4% of you think that she got away with murder. I think she knows who did it. That's me. Anyhow, there's your answers from yesterday's rock and roll poll question. All right. So Hank Williams Jr. goes on Fox News, what a surprise, and blasts the president and makes a reference to Hitler. Compares Hitler to the president of the United States. And the people at ESPN yanked the traditional Monday Night Football, all my rowdy friends are coming over tonight thing. They pull that off the air. So our question, was that fair? Should that have happened? Should the music from the Monday Night Football opening segment be pulled because of his comments? Yes or no? Now, I saw this morning here, just a couple of seconds right before I started recording, that he has issued an apology, so we'll see. But in the meantime, yes or no? Should they have pulled that music because of that comment? All right, here we go. The Triple Scale Grand production yesterday, which began at Hooters, and Trish and I will be again there today between noon and 3. Stick to the script, Philadelphia, for God's sakes. Stick to the script. You know, we were supposed to win yesterday, but, you know, everybody's making such a big deal out of this thing of walking Ruiz, and then, of course, the home run becomes a 3-run home run instead of a 2-run home run. Let me just tell you something. The Cardinals left 14 men on base yesterday. And anybody that doesn't figure out the connection between the Cardinal loss and 14 men left on base in a playoff game is sort of looking away from the obvious. How's that? We'll just sort of leave it at that. You don't win playoff games doing that. All right, Arizona beat Milwaukee, so Milwaukee up 2-1. Yankees beat the Tigers, so that series is tied at 2, and Texas wins it over the Rays. That was the wild card team, the Rays there, so I don't know. Interesting matchup today, and I could go through all this. By the time you see this, they'll probably be playing the game. But let's just see what happens. I never know. People say, well, what do you think? I had a good feeling yesterday, although the last thing I said to Jack Clark, and we're trying to determine right now, because I don't remember if I said this on the air or off, because if I said it on the air, we're going to find it so I can prove it. But I got witnesses. I said to Jack Clark, last thing I said to him was, I got this funny feeling we're going to be going like a scoreless tie going into the 7th inning, which is exactly what happened yesterday. I was sitting there in the press box telling people, and they're like, yeah, we heard you talking about that. So I may have said it on the air, but every once in a while you get lucky on stuff like that. Double steal Cardinals in the first inning. I thought that was very, very cool. There's just so many things to like about the Cardinals' performance yesterday, but those men on base, you just can't leave 14 men on base in a situation like that. The squirrel loose during the game yesterday was interesting. When somebody said, JC, come quick, there's a squirrel loose on the field, I thought we brought back Colby Rasmus. Hey! Or you could insert the name Khalil Green, too, there. And Skip Schumacher. Who knew that Skip Schumacher would be so upset because he knew he caught that ball and then even threw it to first, proving that he at least thought in his mind that he caught that ball. But he went after that right field umpire like George Brett in the famous pine tar incident. I was very happy to see that. I know Skip's a fiery guy, but he's also a very polite, sort of a humble human being. Very, very nice man. But boy, he lost it yesterday. And it's sort of good to see. I like seeing that kind of emotion, especially in a playoff game. Nothing wrong with that. The Rally Squirrel, by the way, going back to that, has its own Twitter account now. At Bush Squirrel is the Twitter account if you want to follow the Rally Squirrel, which I'm sure they chased it into the Cardinal bullpen finally after been running around on the field for a while. It actually ran through a door and like into the clubhouse. I'm sure the guys were thrilled about that. So You can't beat fun at the old ballpark. I love getting up at 4:30 this morning and seeing television reporters standing in front of Busch Stadium at 4:30 a.m. Like there's actually some reason to be standing in front of the ballpark at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. All right, let's move on to something else here in the words of Martin Dugan. Forbes names America's most dangerous cities. Detroit, number one again. St. Louis, completely absent from the list. How do you like that? Detroit, followed by Memphis, Springfield, Illinois, Flint, Michigan, Anchorage, Lubbock, Texas, Stockton, California, Tallahassee, Las Vegas, and Rockford, Illinois. St. Louis not only doesn't win it, we don't even appear on the list. It's sort of like win, probably in the right word, but... what do you think of the Apple iPhone announcement yesterday? Sort of a thud, huh? People were expecting a brand new deal, but there's a lot of other stuff going on here. The big thing is voice recognition. That's going to be huge. They have it on some phones right now, but Apple has caught up on that. It's now available on Sprint. Cost is down a little bit, so could be interesting to see what happens there. I'm eligible for a new iPhone in December, which is great because mine is underperforming. Let's just leave it at that. There's a Mr. Ed movie in the works. Now, for years, people have been sort of debating what the producers of that show did to make Mr. Ed's lips move. We had heard there was like an anal probe or some sort of electrical device, and there was some guy sitting there with a joystick, and every time they wanted Mr. Ed's lips to move, they ran this thing. And yours would too. But Alan Young, who was the co-star, the human co-star of Mr. Ed, said that what they would do, they had a nylon string in the horse's mouth, and so the horse was like trying to get the string out of his mouth, and that's what made him look like he was talking, which is harmless, but sort of cruel when you stop to think about it. Alan Young, by the way, also says that after the first season, they didn't need the string anymore because he had learned to move his mouth whenever Alan Young stopped talking. So there you go. There's a famous episode of Mr. Ed with Clint Eastwood is in it. I have to dig that one up. Dancing with the Stars, Chaz Bono lives to dance again. They sent home Kristen Cavallari. Nancy Grace, by the way, they're accusing her of farting on live TV. You can hear it. There's certainly a noise. The Simpsons going into their 23rd season, but this could be it because they want the men and women who provide the voices on the show to take a 45% pay cut. 45% pay cut. They're already making $8 million a season, so you're still going to do okay. But there's so much marketing and everything like that, and action figures or whatever they call them and stuff like that. I mean, let me just tell you something. The people who are responsible for The Simpsons are cleaning up, and to try to come along now and pull the plug on the show, or make them out to be the bad guys just because they want to earn money. The 6th season of Dexter, 2.2 million viewers. That's the show's biggest audience for a premiere, and Showtime's highest-rated premiere for an original show in the last 14 years. And Michael C. Hall needs a new contract at the end of the year. He's asking for $24 million to do 2 more seasons. They want to pay him $20. Trust me, they will continue to do that. Kristen Wiig might be leaving Saturday Night Live. That's the rumor going around. And 2.5 Men had 8 million fewer viewers in its second week, but it's still the #1 show in America. This actually looks pretty good. The Coen brothers are developing a TV show, a series on Fox called Harv Carbo, about an LA private investigator whose cases frequently force him to cross paths with a who's who of Hollywood, and that's all we know right now, but I'm liking it already. Tonight, after the ball game, late tonight on HBO, 9 o'clock, the Martin Scorsese profile of George Harrison. Looking forward to this. Part 1 of 2 tonight on HBO. Can't wait. George Clooney, by the way, new movie, Ides of March. They're doing a screening tonight, but everybody's going to be at the ball game, so I'm going to probably have to wait till the weekend to see this. George Clooney wrote and directed this and stars in it. I don't know if he wrote it. No, I know he directed it. He stars in it. He's on Letterman tonight. He'll be talking about that. Thanks to the success of The Lion King, Disney is now going to re-release Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Finding Nemo, and Monsters, Inc. into theaters in 3D. I got to tell you, Finding Nemo in 3D would be very, very cool. Voice of Ellen DeGeneres there. Sort of a random fact, today is October 5th, and is the most common birthday in the United States. More people born on October 5th than any other date in the country. The best theory is that it is exactly almost 9 months after New Year's Eve. People are humping and pumping on New Year's Eve, and then they have babies. May 22nd is the least common birthday, other than February 29th. I have to sort of look at the calendar and go backwards and figure out why people aren't humping and pumping 9 months before those dates. All right, we got that. Let's just cut through this here. 50 days. 50 days until Thanksgiving if you want something else to worry about. It was on this date in 2004 that Rodney Dangerfield checked out. I got a chance to work with him on 4 or 5 different occasions, and he was an absolute panic. It's not that he was like particularly funny, as he was odd and idiosyncratic and nervous and just weird to be around, but fun and a nice guy. As I said, I got to meet him and work with him in person 4 or 5 times. And, sometimes I think about stuff like that. I go, that's just unbelievable. I thought when I was in college that I would do cool stuff in broadcasting, but I never thought I would do as many cool things as I've gotten to do at broadcasting. I wish I could say that the trend is consistently, because everything's drying up everywhere, folks. Just ain't fun. Ain't too much fun anymore. All right, what do we got here? Maybe things will get better, but it's sort of unfun these days. And I know things are unfun for a lot of people, so it ain't just broadcasting. Everybody I talk to has got, more than the usual, a lot more than the usual complaints about not so much their job, but just the industry and where the industry that they're in are going. Anyhow, let's win the ball game today. Everybody get back in a good mood and go back to Philadelphia on Friday. What do you say? In the meantime, JC's Eye Candy today is I thought Skip Schumacher, he was running full speed at that right field umpire. I thought he was going to tackle him or something. I haven't seen anything like that since George Brett. Great shot of Skip Schumacher pleading his case with the right field umpire. That's our eye candy today as we go all baseball all the time. All right, that's it. Don't forget to answer our rock and roll poll question about Hank Williams Jr. He's apologized, but they pulled the plug anyhow on his Monday Night Football thing. Do you agree with that? Do you think they had to do that? If you're in management at ESPN and a guy compares the United States of America, regardless of what you think of him, to Hitler, you're running ESPN, and do you say, I'm sorry, Hank, we just don't have a choice. We got to pull the plug on this thing. Please answer. We'll have results for you tomorrow. Talk to you at Hooters today, live from noon till 3. First pitch at Busch Stadium at 5:07. Complete report tomorrow, and here we go. We live in exciting times. That's it. JC's Daily Dose for Wednesday, October 5th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Go Cards. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.